and get outside.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go camping by e-bike today. I'm solo. I'm gonna head right from my house. Got my trailer loaded up with gear, a lot of comfort gear, including some firewood, so I don't have to forage around up there because I know where I'm going gets picked through pretty good. So I'm gonna head up the hill and I'm gonna go camping. Expecting snow tonight, expecting some cold weather. We'll see how it goes. I better hit the road before it starts snowing. Starting out. Oh man, this is gonna be an adventure. Okay, so I've got this thing weighed down pretty good. I mean, I'm big enough as it is, and then I'm adding to it a whole bunch of gear. Now what I got going on is not lightweight backpacking gear. I'm just going overnight, but I brought some comfort gear, an extra quilt to go, and a sleeping bag this time, a big fat luxury camp pad, a heavy tent, a frying pan, plan to warm my dinner over the fire. I think I got things secured down pretty good. Where I'm planning to go is about 12.5 miles from my house. Now, for my recent range test with this bike, it should be able to do that handily. The only caveat is I'm climbing 3,500 feet in elevation. So I'm thinking I might be pedaling all the way home tomorrow, but at least it'll be downhill. So the plan is on these flatter parts through town, I will just leave it in just third, or maybe I'll even slow it down and I'll try to pedal more. Maybe I'll even shut it off sometimes. Try to conserve as much of that battery for when I'll really need it, because I'll basically be climbing a dirt road for several miles to get where I'm going. It's pretty cold today. I'm gonna put some gloves on. It's something like 30, maybe a 32. It's right above freezing right now, must be around 35. Calm winds. It's not supposed to get too much colder actually. We got a lot of cloud cover and a snowstorm coming in, so the temperatures won't drop more than about 10 degrees tonight, hopefully. And it shouldn't be too windy, so I hope that's all true. Here's where the pavement ends and the climb begins. It's all dirt like this, but it'll get steeper. I think it's already notched off 3 bars out of, I don't know if there's 10 or 12 there, so I'm really hoping by the time I get to the top, I'm just a little under half, but I'm thinking it might suck more than that. I'm pedaling pretty good, level 3 assist, so it's been doing around 350 to 400 watts of output. It's a 750 watt motor, so I'm working it, but not too hard yet. Oh man, despite the cold and the imminent snow, sure feels good to be out. Oh boy, I can tell this is gonna be rough. I'm gonna have to, just the pedal assist alone is barely enough to keep me upright. I'm gonna have to do throttle too. Ooh, my wife said this was a bad idea. And I said, you're right, but what the hey. Oh, I'm gonna work up an appetite. All right, this is a fairly steep incline right here, and if you're wondering how well these things climb uphill when fully loaded, it's not great. I am doing a lot of work with my legs. I'm breaking much more of a sweat than I was hoping. Don't want to be wet from sweat when it starts snowing, then I get wet from inside and out. But I'm full throttle and pedaling, sucking lots of battery juice here. Granted, I bet the payload, this has a max payload of 350 pounds, but I bet I'm at, it's gotta be right close to 300 with all that gear. I haven't brought a whole bunch of firewood from home. That was probably dumb. Unless it all works out, then I'll be loving it. Oh boy, washboard. Yeah, so I knew this was gonna be tough. It's going, but I'm losing battery quick. Definitely have range anxiety right now, but this is no Tesla. I can think of worse things to be doing though. Oh yeah, downhill. Oh, this is a struggle. This is hard to stand up on too. Yeah, just the geometry of this bike is such that it's really awkward to stand and try to get more power, at least at my height. Maybe if someone's shorter, they wouldn't have the same issue. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna stop and check and see where I'm at. Okay, so consulting the map, I have about 6 more miles to go to get to where I was hoping to go. I've gone 8 miles, and about half of that, or a little more than half of that, was relatively flat. I mean, it's been a gradual climb the whole time. The issue is it shows I'm already at half battery. And it's a chore, man, on that steep stuff with all this gear. It is a chore. We'll carry on until I can't and then figure out a plan. Oh boy. There we go. Oh man. All right, downhill, good and bad. Good because I can coast, but bad because coming back the other way is gonna hurt. But that tree line is what I'm going for. If I'm honest, it's not looking good. This thing just like comes to a halt. Working hard. Going about 6 miles an hour, 5, 6. 3 bars of battery left. And in my experience, once it's at 2, it's pretty much done. Okay, 1 bar. It's no longer giving me full output. Yeah, this isn't gonna get me to the top of the hill. Oh boy. Dang, I keep thinking I'm gonna get to a good spot. Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot right now. Oh boy. Oh, I'm gonna walk it a bit. In fact, if you hold down this button, I think it's not exactly what I had envisioned. Oh geez. Just stop. I'll go a little bit. Okay, let's pull over and assess the situation. You got 1 bar. Big fly to little fly. Do you copy? Big fly to little fly. Do you hear me? I'm about 10 miles, I think, as the crow flies to my house. I left one of these at home for my son. I thought I'm really high compared to the house, so I thought maybe we'll be able to get reception. This is that new Rocky Talkie 5-watt radio. It's a GMRS, so it's a little higher power. We'll see if he responds. I'll try one more time. Big fly to little fly. Do you copy? Big fly to little fly. Are you there? Anyway, here's the situation. I had come planning to spend the night. I also expected this e-bike to get me to the top of the hill. I'm currently about 3 miles from the closest place where I could pitch a tent and camp. Right where I'm at now, it's not allowed. I could probably get away with it, but I like to follow the rules. My options are walk this freaking heavy bike all the way up the hill for a few more miles. I don't know that I could get there by dark. I've only got 1 bar of battery and the electric motor is essentially done, so I don't have any more assist. Or I could go back, and I'm thinking that's probably the wise thing to do. So I'll let the wife know I do have cell service right here. I'll work my way down. I should be able to coast most of the way. I won't get home before dark, but maybe I can get home or close enough to either just pedal or get picked up. We'll see. And, dang it, man. Yeah, see, I don't know if you see here, but the tree line right up there is where it actually turns to Forest Service land. I'm on BLM land right now, so it's public land, but within the county limits here, there's a big trail system and they ask you not to camp. The other thing that makes me think it'd be wise to turn back is I know I have weather. I've got snow coming in. Now, it's not supposed to be crazy. We're not talking like a foot or more. We're talking a few inches. It's forecasted tonight. Somewhere it's supposed to start snowing here in the next hour or two, and then snow, you know, between this afternoon and the night, maybe up to 6 inches, my guess. But that would have been kind of fun to ride this thing, but maybe it'd also be kind of dangerous. And without that electric assist, this is just a freaking heavy bike. And see, look, the reality is that is an 80-pound bicycle, all right? So when you don't have any battery helping you out, that is a super heavy bike. I mean, compare that to my little gravel bike, which weighs like, I don't know, 25 pounds maybe. Then I've got this big trailer of gear here. I was ready to live large tonight, eat well, sleep well, have a couple of Coca-Colas in there, but that's probably another 80 pounds. Then you got me, 220 more pounds. You know, that's almost as much as when I ride my darn dirt bike. Should have ridden my dirt bike. That wouldn't have run out of battery. So these are some of the limitations. You gotta kind of know your limits when you're camping and when you're gonna do these things, especially when you're solo. Well, I do have communication. I know it's gonna be cold. I could stay warm. If this were an emergency situation and I had to camp right here, I'd do it. But it's not an emergency situation. So I don't feel right about breaking those rules because I think it's best to let the conservation folks that are managing these lands full time call those shots as best as they can. So I'll respect that. Sorry guys, that would have been fun to show you some snow and do all that. Let me know in the comments what you think about this if you're totally disappointed. But I'll try again. I'll get out there again. I'll figure out someplace. I think what I'm gonna have to do though is if I'm gonna come here, I need to truck my bike to the trailhead at least. Or I go somewhere where it's not so steep and I think I'd be all right with the range on this bike. I do want to try it in the snow, so there's still time yet. So I just talked to the wife and we agree it's probably best to go home. So yeah, I'm gonna start working my way down. It's very cold. I just saw some snowflakes dropping, so I gotta hit the road. I'm almost out of daylight. All right, oh boy. Well, this weight's gonna really wanna cruise downhill fast. Beep, beep. Hopefully the brakes will handle it. Oh yeah. Downhill utility electric bike riding. I don't think that's a thing. Maybe we'll make it so. This thing, when that trailer though is loaded down like it is, it tows pretty smooth actually. Just bouncy when it hits a rut or a bump or whatever. Woo! Oh, snowflakes! Ooh, there's a big... Gotta watch out for that guy. Oh yeah. No problem. Oh, now I'm gonna get vibrating stuff. Falling off all over. Whoa! Oh boy! Oh boy, here comes the uphill. I'm gonna roll as fast as I can. Oh yeah, I got some way up it. Yes. Ooh, I'm gonna use my 1 bar of battery. Oh, no, I'm not. That was it. That's all it would do. Oh, yeah, it's either cold. You know, that's another thing I noticed about this bike. They said the battery, the operating temperature is like a minimum of 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and the charging temperature is minimum of 40 or 41. Well, I found that to be true for charging because it was too cold to charge in my garage yet last night, so I brought it inside. But operating, it's like 30 degrees maybe right now. It should be fine, but it's dying out on me. I might have also maxed it out. Maybe it doesn't like that. It's got 1 bar. Let's try it. If I don't give it full, nope. Yeah, see, it's still dying. Oh. Okay, we'll just walk it. It's not how I thought this day would go. Oh boy. Cruising now. Oh man, if only I could go uphill this fast. I'd been there a long time ago. Okay, it just occurred to me, one thing I haven't done is talked about any of this gear. I'm just gonna run through it real quick in case any of you are curious what I'm using. I'll put some links in the description. There'll be affiliate links if you wanna use those or not, but just for your reference, no big deal either way. Since you're not getting the full camping video, I feel like I gotta give you something here. So here's what we got. This is the Rad Power Bikes radrunner 3 Plus electric utility bike. So it's really meant to be kind of an around town utility bike, you know, and it works as that. I've used it quite a bit as that. It's a lot of fun. I've also been using it for hunting. Actually a great setup for that. And not perfect for everything, but it's a great all-purpose, all-around bike. I have the trailer from Rad Power Bikes as well, so that's just the one that they advertise with it. So I mentioned earlier, this is the Rocky Talkie, their new 5-watt radio. It's a GMRS radio, two-way radio walkie-talkie thing. It's great so far, loving that. I brought my food, and it's just Cordova. I think they call that the Backcountry Class or something, but they're soft cooler. Really like that one. This is a Rux, a 70-liter crate. You know, it's kind of an interesting product. I think it's overpriced, but it is nice. It's made of really nice polyvinyl material. And you know, I've been using it more often than I thought, just in the back of my truck for hunting gear, for camping gear. I'll probably put my ski gear in there in the winter and just leave it in the truck. Kind of a neat little gadget. Here's my firewood. I brought a bunch of firewood. Now I'm wondering if I would have tried to do this ultralighter without the trailer, if I'd have had enough juice to get up the hill. Probably. Yeah, I mean, that's the most of it. I am wearing the Decathlon MT100, I think it is now, the down puffer jacket. So before I lose total daylight, just I'll kind of close out here and then just cruise on down. But you got to know your limitations, and sometimes your plans don't pan out, you know, and I think this is one of those days. And I could have forced it. I think if I really wanted to do some hiking with 150 pounds of bicycle, I probably could have made it up to a spot I could have camped out for the night, but it would have been well after dark. I would have been hot and sweaty, temperatures dropping, snow, and it just didn't seem very prudent to me. And when I have the option just to get home and sleep in my own bed, you know, that's always tempting too on a night like this. So yeah, know your limitations, be safe out there when you go out and do stuff, especially if you're doing it solo. Make sure you've got some safety equipment, some safety gear, at least one way to communicate. But really, today I have 3 ways to communicate. I got a walkie-talkie, my Garmin InReach, and I've got my cell phone that I still have service for. So yeah, be safe out there, enjoy the winter, and I'll get you another one, I promise, one of these camping adventure videos, and hopefully it'll be a little more successful next time. Gear up and get outside. All right, let's go home. Hope I didn't lose anything on the trail. I think I got it secured pretty good.